and welcome back to my reaction to Attack on Titan, the final part, the final season, part 3. I think everyone has been waiting quite a while for this episode to come out. The expectations were high, and it's still not out on Crunchyroll. I'm still waiting, but for now I'm going to watch it where I found it available. And I just want to say before I get started, after the last season, I planned on reading the manga from chapter 1 to chapter 130, which was the last chapter to be animated, I think. And I planned on reading the manga, like a few chapters, and then watching the corresponding anime episodes. So I did that with season 1 and 2 while reading the manga, watching the episodes, kind of like to get the experience of how does the anime and manga compare, where were things changed, all that kind of stuff. But after season 2, things were swapped around a bit in the anime, and I was running out of time anyway, so I focused on just reading the manga. And I got up to chapter 127, so I haven't read 28, 29, and 30, but I will keep reading that at a later time. So, you know, I rewatched the first 2 seasons again, and I read everything from chapter 1 to 127, which there's a playlist, a manga playlist on, if you want to read along with me. It's 57 hours of reading and discussing and everything, but I know not everyone has that kind of time, so I would highly recommend just read along with me in those, from those videos or with those videos. Just read along with me through the content that covers chapters, season 4. So the chapters corresponding with season 4, I would recommend reading those along with me, because there was a lot of discussion, some theories that popped up, which I'm fairly certain is true for 2 reasons. One, I think the foreshadowing became very clear as I was rereading everything. And also just kind of because of manga readers and especially some Eren fans, some things became pretty apparent to me. I was only, in all this time, I was spoiled on like one thing, which isn't really important to me. I will tell you what I was spoiled on when the time comes. Yeah, just one last thing I noticed as I was talking to a lot of the Eren fans again. I feel like, this is just an observation, I feel like Eren fans seem like, not all of them, but many of them come across kind of like they are deranged mothers who can't believe that their son has been arrested for a string of serial killings, and this mother is like saying, oh, but he had an abusive father, and oh, I wasn't a good mother, it's not his fault, and da-da-da-da. Kind of like how a mother would act if she initially found out her son is a serial killer or something. And I kind of feel like, in contrast to those kinds of fans, I feel like I'm the friend of someone who was killed. So like, it doesn't matter how much this mom screams at me that it's not their fault and they had no choice and he's mentally unstable, or I wasn't a good mother. Like, it doesn't matter how much you shout. My friend is not coming back. And so I'm more from the perspective of the person who lost their friend. So that's why I'm going to try my best to not get caught up in the hysterical mothers screaming. I'm going to try and just distance myself a little bit. But yeah, I'm very excited for the episode. It's square. It looks like it's square. That's new. But I've been watching Avatar, and I honestly don't care. I considered watching this without subs. I just wanted to see what happens. And then, you know, I could afterwards read the manga. What were they saying? I don't know. But I'll probably split this video in 2 for YouTube because it needs to be edited and stuff. I guess let's get started. You're so small. I can see it's kind of distorted, but I really don't care. I'm just gonna watch it like this. Maybe once I reach halfway, I can stop and see if the second half has been released. Like, I can watch the second half somewhere else, but for now, this is fine. Whoa, audio. I'm gonna, where's my pen? Because there's notes I need to, Jesus Christ, where's my pen? I know people don't like it if I pause and talk, so I'll just make notes and try and remember what I wanted to say. Because it's not something I haven't said before anyway, so in the manga videos and before. Oi. So wait. Is he mad the world wasn't butterflies and rainbows and roses and everyone's loving and singing Kumbaya around the campfire? He was mad that the world wasn't perfect and lovely and wonderful and magical. Waves of fire and snow and flowers growing everywhere. Like, so even though there are people out there doing their best to survive and living together and loving their brother and working hard, like, yeah, there's a lot of bad things in the world, but it wasn't what you wanted, so that made you disappointed and you decided to destroy everything. Is that Zeke's? You know, people kept saying, oh, the whole world wanted them dead. The whole world, literally every single person wanted them dead, so they deserve to die. I'm sure Ramsey wanted them to die, and Ramsey's dad, and like, I'm sorry, you can 100% agree with Eren and feel like, I'd rather kill the whole world than let me and my friends die. If that's your stance, that's fine. You can feel that way. And then you have to accept that other people are going to feel the opposite way. But you can't use lies to justify blatant lies and say like the whole world wanted them dead, because that's simply not true. There are more people in the world that like Ramsey and his family than aliens living in Paradis. So you just simply cannot argue and say, like, that was one of the comments that annoyed me the most. Everyone wants them dead, so they just killed everyone first. And I'm like, you can't say it that way. Then you have to be very specific and say, well, the majority of the governments of the world fears them and wants them dead, and the people have no power to stop them. So then Eren has to kill everyone because the governments are... You have to be specific. You can't just say everyone was against them, everyone wanted them dead. Like, no, half the people were... I mean, I talked about this, so I shouldn't repeat myself. Ah, important. This links to my theory, what I believe will happen. Helos is a part of that theory, the hero. Willy Tyburn's words about needing a new Helos, and also a discussion with Pixis back in like season 1 or 2. Eren had with Pixis on the wall somewhere. But I have to admit, him saying that thing about being disappointed and wanting to destroy everything, that kind of, I feel like I'm less certain of my theory now, because I was very certain before. Oh, that's not gonna help any of you. His butt. What? This whole part where he's a child here, it makes you think of a question that I've heard asked a lot, not in Attack on Titan or with regards to Attack on Titan, just a lot of people have had this thought experiment: if you could go back in time and kill Hitler as a baby, would you do it? Would it be right to do it? What is the ethics behind that? It's just a thought experiment, and this kind of makes me think about that question or a thought experiment, because now you see, because if you really could go back in time and Hitler's lying there innocent, not having committed any crimes at all ever, but you know that well, at least in your timeline, you know what he does. So do you look at that baby as an innocent child, or can you really separate the child in that moment from, once you know as a time traveler, can you separate the child from the crimes that they have committed later in life? But then it also depends on your beliefs around time travel and alternate timelines and blah, 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 and whether or not you can change. And you know, if you do then change, no, it's a way too complicated thought experiment. But this did make me think about that. And just a single part of that question, can you separate the innocent child from future crimes? It's actually a meaningless thought experiment, because none of us can travel time. But in this case, we quite literally traveled, because we're not part of the story, we're outside of the story. So for me, looking at him now at least, it's very difficult to separate the illusion of a child that I see from the reality of what the last 10 minutes that I just watched. She sounds a bit different. You might die. Just give her a hug. I mean, I'm not gonna judge them. Everyone's dying. World is ending. Might as well get your first kiss in there. Let me just write a note. Otherwise, love while the world is ending. What? What? How? Can I just point out, you killed them, some of them, but also they had already killed anyone who disagreed with them on the island. So it was a kind of self-defense, just in my opinion. I'm sorry, but I also can't be friends with someone who says agree with me or die. So just that part I wanted to add. No. You misheard him. Someday you travel an unknown world. No, actually the promise was someday you trample the unknown world. You just misheard. The thing is, obviously they were children, so they didn't know any better. But let's be honest. There's no single person in the world that is all good, 100% pure, beautiful, lovely. So thinking that the world would be any different, I mean, the world is made up of perfect people. Each person contains, to some extent, goodness and badness within them. They end up feeding one wolf or the other or whatever, but at the end of the day, those people, those imperfect, sometimes horrible people, sometimes amazing people, despite their circumstances, they make up the world, so the world will reflect that. I'm not saying they should have understood that as children, but I mean, at least as an adult, grow up and realize that. But no, disappointed, destroy the world. You know what I just thought about? Imagine if, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and like, spoiler alert, mute me until I put down the pen. You don't want to be spoiled on it. But imagine if people went to like live under the surface somehow or something. Because I also saw a history episode, or not a history, but like a archaeological episode about this really people that live deep down the ground, and there's all these rooms and stuff. I'm just saying, like, imagine if a new season of Attack on Titan with like these underground people and them trying to overthrow whoever survived up there. Like, well, technically it will only be Eldians from Paradis, but you know what I'm saying? That would be an interesting story. I wonder why you would think that. Oh, by the way, one question that I got was like, who's my favorite characters going into this? And I haven't talked about that since at the end of the last part in the anime. I haven't thought about it again after reading all of the manga up to chapter 127. But if I had to say, like when someone asked me that, the first character that came to mind was John, Levi, Hange, and an honorable mention for Mikasa. Just my opinion. Based on how I feel, like emotions. You will come into contact with Zeke and gain the power of the Final Titan. Well, she lost her god. What? That has been addressed in my manga videos, but I will write it down and discuss it in my review video or something. But for now, I'll just be like, I already talked about that. I'm frustrated that for a long time information was withheld, important information. Even it's hinted at when Eren showed his father his memories and stuff, he asks, why won't you show me everything? Why? And then Zeke said, like, if you have the power to transcend time and blah, you also can show certain memories and manipulate people. Like, in many ways, not just then, information was withheld from key people. And if people don't have all the information, it's very difficult for them to make the proper decisions and stuff. But I can't so easily concede that because one person took fucking Willie's bait and decided to destroy the world, it was better for everyone to be euthanized. Eren is like, his actions basically threw everyone under the bus because he decided to do this in the end. Zeke was right, and all Eldians would have just been better off if they were sterilized and, you know. I'm sorry, I can't concede it so easily because of that. Not in my opinion. I understand in this, when they're faced with literally the destruction of the world, it would be more easy to be like, yeah, sure, he was right, okay. But since I'm a viewer, and I'm talking from an ethical standpoint, even if 90% of a community's people are bad and corrupt, I don't think it's ethically justifiable to say, let's euthanize everyone. I don't even know. I don't even think it's ethical to, oh, you are a bad person. I think you're a bad person. You should be sterilized. You shouldn't be allowed to have kids. I don't know if that's obviously taking it much further. than we need to right here. But most importantly, I just can never get behind the belief that there are groups of people in the world who can decide other groups of people are too dangerous and therefore should be sterilized. That's like saying, I've brought this up before, but that's like saying the majority of violent crimes are committed by men. So all men, regardless of whether or not they're guilty of anything, should be persecuted. They shouldn't be allowed out at night. If too many boys are born after a certain point, the baby should be aborted. It's just statistically, it's too dangerous. Like, that's not right. No group of people should have that kind of decision over other people's lives or actions but okay. I get it, how you might feel in this moment, Hunch, but I can't get behind that. Lock them in their room. He's a jaw titan. Annie's voice sounds a little different and Onyankopon's voice sounding a little different. I wonder if anyone, not just them, but maybe anyone got new VAs. Maybe I just can't remember because I've been reading the manga. Wow. Sorry, one more thing. I just can't understand. To people who support Eren and say he has no choice, he had no choice, he had no choice. I get it, you want to choose his side, that's 100%. But how do you get mad at anyone who just... If you can support what Eren's doing and you agree with that and you think he has no choice because the world is against him, how can you be mad at anyone who chooses the other side? Well, my side is like, oh, Eren's trying to destroy the world. I think he should be stopped. And you're mad at me. But you're literally choosing... Like, it seems hypocritical. At least Eren called himself hypocritical. But his fans don't seem to have that same kind of self-awareness. I feel kind of bad for them, man. But I'm just a sucker, regardless of anything in the whole story. I'm just a sucker for, like, romance, so that's just gonna hit me hard always. I like Pieck. Oh, yeah, this is what I was spoiled on, by the way. I don't care, though, because I don't care about his character, so... I don't know what he's gonna do, I just know that he's there. If you kill Onyankopon... Thank God he didn't take any... Oh... Well, at least he didn't kill anyone, but... No, excuse me, let me just correct you there. Everyone that you didn't already kill will get killed. Just pointing that out. Just wanted to make it clear. You would understand that. Can I just read that again? But we can't just give up. Even if we fail today, maybe someday. Interesting. Sorry. A titan falling, tripping and falling, that monster after is kind of ridiculous and... Wait. Are you? Is he? Wait, how? What? Oh. How? But how? The only one that stands a chance against those monsters is this. I don't know. Oh, that means something when he says it. That's her plan. Can't that just be enough? Can't you just... Oh, they're on the boat. That's where the others are. I was confused for a bit. No, well, he's already dead. To me, he died last season. Is this heaven? Her heaven? Sorry, I had to laugh because I was just thinking, imagining a Titan heaven for Hanji. I guess I'll end it here because the video's already an hour long. Usually my videos I don't like it when they go over an hour. So I'll split it in two. I also don't think I'm going to score the episode even after I finish the next half. Well, I will need to rewatch it properly on a proper site, but I don't see how I could, at this point in time, with how invested I am in the story and the characters and everything, and with the everything coming to this point, I don't know if I could ever give it below 10, you know? I don't know, we'll see. I know a lot of people, my mods told me, one of my mods was spoiled today. I don't know if it was on this or something that happens in the next part, but Tiago told me he was spoiled because of a comment that was held for review, that he ended up blocking the person because they were trying to spoil me. And I don't remember who told me, but basically, obviously, we know what they were trying to spoil. So if they were trying to spoil this, Hanj's death, I feel like it wouldn't even have meant that much, because at this point, I'm assuming everyone dies. But no, the only thing I was spoiled on, even last season, it wasn't even recently, it was just a certain character that didn't die. But, you know, all that served to do was delay their departure, and Hanj died as a result. It's frustrating, but at this point, I'm just glad he's gone now. I don't have any more anger in me. I'm a little frustrated. I feel like Armin could have maybe done more and escaped, but probably not. I don't know. If he had the gear and stuff, like, couldn't he have just stopped more of them and then whooshed over? They could have flown past his head or something and he could have jumped. I don't know. But it is what it is. Like I said, at this point, I'm assuming everyone dies. So this was just Hanj's moment. And it was a great moment, a 10 out of 10. Let me know what you thought. I'm going to upload this for patrons and then I'll watch part 2. I feel like it will be worse. Much worse.